Unsolved.
Episode 181, Jonbenet case. Patsy wrote the ransom note. Patsy Ramsey has severely injured Jonbenet, and she doesn't know what to do. And so she thinks about, what are her friends gonna think? The PTA mom who killed her daughter. That wouldn't look too good. So she decides to cover it up. And she writes this ransom note. Mr. Ramsey. The note starts off with a little misdirection. Listen carefully. Kind of a scary story. We are a group of individuals that represent a small foreign faction. We respect your business, but not the country that it serves. At this time, we have your daughter in our possession. Patsy points the finger at a foreign faction. She has poor penmanship. She misspells simple words like business and possession. She is safe and unharmed, and if you want her to see 1997, you must follow our instructions to the letter. Patsy wrote this Christmas letter just a few weeks before. Seeing the orthodontist in 1997. Publications in 1997. Seeing you in 1997. In a nice new indented paragraph, you will withdraw $118,000 from your account. $100,000 will be in $100 bills, and the remaining $18,000 in $20 bills. The $118,000, the same amount as John's Christmas bonus? Patsy probably got a peek at that on a pay stub. Make sure that you bring an adequate size attaché to the bank. When you get home, you will put the money in a brown paper bag. I will call you between 8 and 10 a.m. tomorrow to instruct you on delivery. The delivery will be exhausting, so I advise you to be rested. Does this sound like the language of a child abductor and killer? If we monitor you getting the money early, we might call you early to arrange an earlier delivery of the money, and hence an earlier delivery and crossed out pickup of your daughter. I think Patsy crossed out delivery because that makes it sound like Jonbenet was dead already. A new paragraph with a nice indentation. Any deviation of my instructions will result in the immediate execution of your daughter. You will also be denied her remains for proper burial. The two gentlemen watching over your daughter do not particularly like you, so I advise you not to provoke them. And then language that's in all ransom notes. Speaking to anyone about your situation, such as police, FBI, etc., will result in your daughter being beheaded. If we catch you talking to a stray dog, she dies. If you alert bank authorities, she dies. If the money is in any way marked or tampered with, she dies. You will be scanned for electronic devices, and if any are found, she dies. You can try to deceive us, and then more ransom language that you see all the time. But be warned that we are familiar with law enforcement countermeasures and tactics. Really? No one finds this hard to believe? This language coming from an intruder? But be warned. Countermeasures and tactics and special training. You stand a 99% chance of killing your daughter if you try to outsmart us. follow our instructions, and you stand a 100% chance of getting her back. You and your family are under constant scrutiny, as well as the authorities. Don't try to grow a brain, John. You are not the only fat cat around, so don't think that killing will be difficult. Don't underestimate us, John. Use that good southern common sense of yours. It is up to you now, John. Notice that the talk of a small faction and the two gentlemen has gone out the window, and now it's directly talking to John. It's up to you now, John. Maybe Patsy's plan was to dispose of Jonbenet's body that morning when John went to get the ransom money. But when she showed John the ransom note, he insisted on calling 911, and therefore she did do that. And that's why she called her friends, because she wanted her friends there. And Patsy thought that the police would find Jonbenet's body, see the garrote around her neck, and notice the suitcase under the window, and investigate it as an intruder. And John didn't help by saying that he broke the window, and also telling the truth about other things. And that's why the whole thing is confusing, because Patsy's trying to cover up the crime, and John Ramsey, who wasn't involved, is just stating the truth. And the case is as simple as Jonbenet got up late in the morning that night and woke up her mom. And while dealing with Jonbenet, out of frustration, Patsy hit Jonbenet in the head. And it's possible that Jonbenet had the murder weapon in her hand and maybe even hit Patsy first, and then Patsy took it away and struck her. Well, this ends this episode of Unsolved, and tomorrow night we go back to the Zodiac Killer case. See you then.